Hey, what's up photographers? In this Affinity tutorial, you're going to learn how to edit a raw photo in the Develop Studio. So let's get started. So right now I'm in Affinity and I don't have a photo open. I'm in the Pixel Studio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, hold, and drag this raw photo here into Affinity. And we know it's a raw photo because the extension is DNG, which is an Adobe Digital Negative RAW file. And we're in the Develop Studio. So we can see right off the bat that this image looks quite dark or it's underexposed. If we take a look at the metadata of this photo, we can see the exposure time is 1/1000, aperture 7.1, and the ISO at 640. So it depends on how much ambient light or how much sunlight caused this image to be dark. But anyways, we need to get this corrected. So if we look at the histogram, you can see the histogram is pushed towards the left. And if you don't know how to read a histogram, I do have a separate tutorial on that on my channel. So we need to push this histogram to the right to make this image brighter. So there's a few ways to do that. I can go to the basic options here, the basic panel, and I can shift the exposure to the right. And I think that looks pretty good. And one thing I forgot to do is turn on the clipping indicators. So I'll turn it on right here, the highlight clipping and the shadow clipping, just to make sure I don't go overexposed or underexposed. And I'll show you an extreme example. So the red here is the overexposure or the highlight clipping, and the blue here is the shadow clipping. So that's when I lose total detail. I'm going to reset that. But there's already shadows here and I still want to keep the dark areas. So I don't want to use the exposure slider to correct the highlights or to even out the histogram or balance out the exposure, I should say. So since there's a black point, but there's no white point, what I can do is I can go to the tone section here. I can activate this curves and then I can adjust the input or the white point this way. And you can see this looks slightly different than the basic exposure slider. And I think this looks good. There's a little bit of clipping here, but I think a little bit is fine. I think that looks good now. So let's take a look at the before and after. So that looks a lot better. So this is the before and this is the after. Let me make sure everything here is reset. The other thing I need to do is I need to double check the lens. So sometimes with the lens correction, it's automatically on right here, but there's no lens selected. So we can see here I shot with the Canon R100 and the lens is the RFS 55 to 210 millimeter. So if I click on this drop down and type in RFS, you can see it has some of the lenses, but not my telephoto lens. So that is a bummer. Hopefully Affinity gets that updated. So I don't need this lens correction here, but this photo still looks good. There's not that much distortion, or you can't even see any visible distortion. But one thing I can do is click on this remove lens vignette and we can see how it improves the photo. So it does look better. So here's the before and here's the after. The other thing I want to do is maybe brighten up the image. So with the brightness slider, it'll mostly impact the midtones. And now I'm losing detail here as according to this red clipping indicator. So I'll go back to the curves tool and I'll bring this down just like that. I think that looks good. I can also increase the midtones just like that. And now the image is a lot more brighter without losing any detail or without too much highlight clipping. I can bring it down like that a little bit, bring this up like that. I think the darkest point at the histogram, or according to the histogram, looks still pretty good. But it looks here, if I zoom in, if I look here, it doesn't look too good here. There's a little bit of shadow clipping, but it also looks like there's a bit of noise coming, so I think it should be a little bit darker here. So I'm holding the Option or Alt key and scrolling with my mouse to zoom in, but I'll press Control or Command 0 to go to 100% view. So I think I do need to bring this down a little bit just to get a little bit of better exposure here. I'll go to the basic panel, and I think what I'll do is I'll bring down the shadows a little bit here, just like that. It looks a little bit cleaner here. There is a little bit of shadow clipping, but that's fine because I see the blue indicators here. So let's take a look at the before and after. So this is the before and this is the after. So it looks a lot better here. The one thing I do want to show you is in the details. So I'm going to zoom in again. And you can see in the details section, there is this noise reduction. It's automatically applied. If I uncheck this, you can see a lot more noise. By default, Affinity only applies color noise reduction, not luminance. So if you want to adjust that, you need to go to the Develop Assistant settings right here. And then you need to go to noise reduction and make sure you have apply color and luminance reduction. By default, it's on apply color reduction. If you do change it, you do need to reopen the raw file for the effects to come into effect. So I'm going to click on close. The other thing I want to show you is in the basic section, this tone curve that's automatically applied. This is from the Develop Assistant settings again. If I uncheck this, the image is a lot more flat. So behind the hood, Affinity automatically applies a tone curve. Usually standard works pretty well. If I uncheck my curve and uncheck the Affinity default curve, you can see how washed out this image looks. And personally, unless you're doing some professional exposure or tonal correction or color grading, I think having the automatic tone curve adjustment enabled helps the develop process go faster and smoother, especially when a photo looks uneditable. You might not even want to edit it, when in reality, it's still a pretty good photo. And just to give you a comparison with Photoshop, this is Photoshop here, and I'll open this same raw photo in Photoshop, which will open it up in Camera Raw. Camera Raw is the raw rendering engine behind Photoshop and Lightroom. And you can see here, actually, I need to reset this. Let me reset this. Yeah, so this is how Camera Raw renders the raw file. I had an automatic adjustment already applied, but this is how Camera Raw renders the raw file. So if we compare this to Affinity's automatic tone curve, you can see it's quite important. Let me make sure my curves is off to show you the example. So it's a pretty good base starting point to develop a raw photo to have this tone curve enabled. So once again, it's in the Develop settings or in the Develop Assistant settings. And you want to enable it right here, default tone curve standard. Affinity automatically has it on when you first open up the software, so you don't need to worry about that. So other than that, let me go back to the tone curves, enable that. This looks like it's a pretty good starting point. Now for any other adjustments, we can clean it up in the Pixel Studio. I don't think I want to do any more editing here. I corrected the tonal range and the color. I think it looks pretty good here. So I don't need the full raw information to correct anything else. So I want to bring this into the Pixel Studio. And before I do that, I do need to select this output option. So there's three options, which is the pixel layer. This is the option you don't want to select, the pixel layer, because if you select it, then you won't be able to adjust the initial raw file again. In case you want to go back, it'll be destructive. So usually you want to keep it at raw layer embedded or raw layer linked. This raw layer linked is usually the best option. It just links to the original raw file on your computer or external hard drive. If you go with embedded, the file will get huge. So you want to make sure you really need this embedded option. So I'm going to click on develop. And now it goes into the Pixel Studio. Then I can do some more crazy adjustments to this photo. If I want to return to the Develop Studio, I can just click on this pointer icon or the move tool. there, and I can click on develop. And just to show you an example of how the Affinity files look with the Affinity file linked to a raw file or embedded, I'm going to go right here to my Finder. I already saved the Affinity files. So this is the linked version, 705 kilobytes. And this is the embedded version, 194 megabytes. So it's huge. It's really huge compared to the original raw file, which is about 24 megabytes. So remember, this is kilobytes and this is megabytes. So for the most part, when you're saving a photo in the Develop Studio and bringing it into the Pixel Studio, you want to link the raw file, not embed it, unless you're planning to collaborate with somebody else and send the file to someone else. So hopefully you guys have a good understanding on how to use the Develop Studio to get started and then move your workflow into the Pixel Studio. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. And as always, live easy, sleep breezy, and stay lovely.